today. From Lumen Field in Seattle, it's Week 17 of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Drew Lock and the Seattle Seahawks taking on Jameis Winston and the New Orleans Saints.
Well, no trip to the Northwest would be complete without a little rain, and we've got a lot of rain falling right now at Lumen Field in downtown Seattle. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the New Orleans Saints and the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. They come in at 15-0, one win short of a perfect regular season.
And it's something we've only seen a couple of times. Miami in 1972, New England in 2007. We know they're not going to mail it in. They're going to go for it.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They will be led out by a second-round pick in 2019. Out of Missouri, it's Drew Lock.
And he just continues to throw touchdown pass after touchdown pass, leading the league here down the final stretch of the year. Guys will say that the numbers and rankings, they don't matter to him very much, but I don't know how much I actually believe that. Sure, he's team first, but I think everyone would like to see him finish number one, including himself.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. The numbers for Jones last week, 21 carries, 108 for the yardage and the score, too.
And they've already clinched the playoff berth, so I'm eager to see how they approach this game because some teams' philosophy is to go ahead and get guys out. Other teams' philosophy, continue to do what you're doing best. I expect them to go ahead and use their top guys all the way through this one.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A lock fighting Metcalf for the Seattle first. Up the middle, Jones. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. So, Charles, you know, for this offense, we've been talking all year about how difficult it would be to run the table. And you gave me your chances early in the year. You thought maybe 25%. A few weeks ago, you thought closer to 50, but not quite 50. Now, here they are, 15-0. This is happening, isn't it?
I think it is, Brandon, because I do believe this team is too invested, too well coached to fall asleep at the switch now. And I think it ultimately benefits them to stay engaged all the way through the season because make it to the finish line, then they get the open week to refresh and re-energize. But if you get off the gas...
End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Noah Fant, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. So that drives 6 plays, 75 yards. And it's Noah Fant who caps things off with the touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their 6'4" quarterback, the former #1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston.
And he's had a great season so far throwing the football. Very likely could go over 4,000 yards with a good performance here. And even in an age of passing first, that is no small accomplishment.
Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up. Well, this defense for the Seahawks, they were very good in the win over Dallas a week ago.
This defense certainly has a lot to be proud of coming off of last week's game, because when you only give up 14 points in a contest, you give your team a great chance to win. The best defense in the league is usually going to average giving up 18, 19 points a game. So to be under that, a terrific achievement.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll try and run for the first with Dillon. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Here comes the Saints punter now. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. That's pulled in at the 32. For a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. Play action. Now it's Locke. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. A great effort there. With touchdown number 29, too short of LaDainian Tomlinson's all-time record 31. And the Seahawks are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive. You know, Charles, season winding down, time to maybe look ahead to the offseason. What do you see these guys going after either in the draft or free agency?
Well, with the season that they're having, just about every position is up for grabs right now. No one is really safe, but the focal point's always the quarterback position. And he may be auditioning to try and stay with his own current team. I think he's auditioning for the rest of the league to try and find a spot, because I think this team is looking for a new quarterback.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Winston now. And that will be incomplete.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they're going to have to give up the football again after this one.
And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Now Locke on the bootleg. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw it is Locke. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. A fight for it, and this is caught. What a catch. Following the play now, they're going to stop the clock here as a man is shaken up. Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Lock off of play action. He'll buy some time right. He finds his man complete. It's Tucker. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Final 30 seconds of this first quarter, and it's been a quarter dominated by the guys with the football. Into the red zone, it's Lock. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Saints are going to have the football at their own 1-yard line. The defense looked geared up to stop the run, but obviously, Charles, they were ready for the pass, too.
Yeah, they were hoping they could catch everyone crashing and playing the run, but that was a very ill-advised throw right there. The opportunity, lost.
They'll begin the drive with a run by Dillon. And he'll get him a little space here up to the 5-yard line. Jordan Brooks on the tackle. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
But both teams practice this situation, and this time the guys on offense won, and in a very nice way. What a run from that position on their own goal line.
Gave them some good breathing room.
I wonder now, do you still stack the line of scrimmage, or do you play normal defense? They may have backed them off with that run.
Out of his end zone, Winston. There's Chris Olave. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
So a little more space to operate now. 1st and 10 from right around the 12. Now Winston finds his man. It's John Mechie. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Jameis to throw it. They set up, and it's a fumble. And the Seahawks have picked it up. They find some open field here. And they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown. Well, Charles, not only did they fumble the football, but they're starting to fumble away their chances here a little bit. We've got a 3-score ball game now here in the first half.
The last thing you want to do, partner, is help the other team with what are avoidable turnovers. You want to hang on to the football because you're already playing against a good team. You're just making it easier for them by giving them extra opportunities.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. And it is now 21-0. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Here's Winston. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. And the defense coming through on 3rd down. A loss of 7 to bring up 4th. Here comes the Saints punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Oh, good move. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Touchdown! A great play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Seahawks continue to pull away here in this first half. Extra point right down the middle, and that makes the score 28-0. A nice tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. Point after, right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he returns this to the 22. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And not the first time that they're coming back out off of a turnover, but the last one really hurt Charles with that pick six.
And it feels like the whole team's infected right now, doesn't it? It's not just been one person. It's kind of been a group effort where the mistakes have happened. Can they put that aside, kind of start over, and put together a nice drive?
He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. The Saints on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. Throwing deep for Murray. And that went a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete. Here comes the Saints punter now as he's on here to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Returnable for Lockett. 1:54 left on the clock here in quarter number 2. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Flushed out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. That's caught inside the 20. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
How about the first half he's putting together? Well over 100 yards already with that last catch. And to me, they'd be well served to keep looking his way. A number of big plays already in this one.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawk touchdown. A 16-yard touchdown. And the Seahawks will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Extra point splits the uprights, and it is 42-0. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it's DK Metcalf who finishes things off with a touchdown reception. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. To throw again on second down. Winston getting this into the hands of Eric Dickerson. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. On 1st and 10, Winston. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 3 yards remain for second down. Winston. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first half scores just like this one.
Open man is Mechie, and he's got him. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 34-yard line. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started out west in Las Vegas. And it's the Cardinals who are out in front as that game draws closer to halftime. Hollywood Marquise Brown, a touchdown reception. Let's stay in the AFC West as we check on the Broncos at home in Denver. And it's the visiting LA Chargers who are out in front. Mike Williams, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. Lastly, we head to Southern California to check on the Rams at home at SoFi Stadium. In that matchup, all even in their battle with the Kansas City Chiefs. In the game you're watching, it's been Drew Lock with a strong first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And no run back here as the third quarter will commence with a touchback. Out comes the Saints offensive unit and the NFC playoff race. Let's have a look at it. Well, including this week, 3 weeks remain in the regular season, Charles, and it is going to be interesting to see how this playoff picture sorts itself out before we head into the postseason.
Competitive, entertaining postseason, that's what we're always striving for. But I think we get it during the regular season, too, because you never know how things are going to go during the final weeks of the season. Every team pulling out all the stops to get a better seed or just to get one of those 7 seats at the table.
To try again after the sack. Winston will set up a screen for Dillon. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13. How about this? They'll try the option, left side. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. To throw, Winston. They go screen with Dillon. A good job defensively to hold that to 4 yards, and now it's third down. Here's Winston. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the Seahawks have recovered. Well, that's unfortunate because he had a nice run going, but give credit to the defense. They got a hand in the cookie jar there, CD.
You have to think about vision, finding a place to get down after you know you've gotten all you can out of a run, and obviously ball security is paramount in today's football.
And he's in for the score, and his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal.
This offense, they were dynamic in the first half. The halftime break, that didn't slow them down at all. Big strike here in the third quarter.
It's almost as if they were saying, it's not just our skill in the first half that's getting this done, it's confidence as well. And confidence has taken over this game in a big way. How about these strikes that we're seeing?
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. Or win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
The first down throw for Winston. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 2 yards on the pickup there, and that'll bring up second down. Winston. And his throw is incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. They'll throw again. Winston. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the first. Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the... He's got a man, complete! And he is into the end zone, and the touchdown record is now all his. I don't think you can get any more efficient or tidy, whatever word you want to use in that. Man, one play, 75 yards, end zone.
Yeah, efficient, tidy, excellent words. How about explosive? 75 yards, one play. That means everyone handled their assignment.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. It's caught inside the 10. And he'll be out of bounds well short of the goal line, so the attempt at the fake extra point unsuccessful.
Well, I have to admit, I'm scratching my head a little bit here trying to make sense of what I just saw. Number one, huge lead. Just kick the extra point and be done with it. Number two, if you are going to go for two, just line up and go for it from the 2-yard line. Why make it so difficult? That's a long way to go to try and pick up some points.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Well, the disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So you know the frustration level has to be rising, right? So they've got to find a way to quell that, because otherwise they certainly won't get anything done in this one. Keep diving deeper into the offensive playbook, but bottom line is don't quit competing.
The drive starts with a carry by Dillon. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. They go play action. Winston. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Sermon now on 1st and 10. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4. To throw is Winston. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation. Throwing, Winston. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. The 20. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line. Well, this game was already decided, Charles, let's be honest. But now another feather in the cap of this defense as they pick him off for the 2nd time.
You're right about that. Things have been going pretty well for them, to put it mildly, but they're still out there.
And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Aaron Jones with his 13th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks are closing in on that 16-0 record as they add on to their lead. Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And some space here. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
Meanwhile, Winston's throw completed to Mechie. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25. From the 24, Winston. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Now Dillon on the inside give. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
And the big fella stumped that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On 2nd down, it's Sermon. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And his kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
The Seahawks take back over. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate, but we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
And he'll get this forward only for about a yard, as that's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Now a play fake, and here's Locke. And this one is incomplete.
Up huge on the scoreboard, and they're still trying to add to their total. That shot doesn't connect, but I don't think it'll dissuade them from attempting another one.
They'll roll him out right. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. Oh, a leap, and he will make the catch. So the field flips here as they'll go to work at the 20 now on 1st and 10. Out to his left. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. Another touchdown here in the 4th quarter. And, Charles, I think we can start to consider that this undefeated streak of theirs is going to be safe for another week.
And, partner, you don't make it this far into a season without a loss unless you're getting contributions from both sides of the ball and sometimes even your special teams. And that's been true today. Each side helping guide them to this late lead.
And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Winston. And some room to roam now. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A first down there on a pickup of 25. Now Winston. It's Dillon again. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
It appears they found something that's working, and they keep going back to it. I guess you can actually say he has the hot hands now, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, it's one thing to hit your guy out of the backfield once, hit him a couple times. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they're onto something.
And I think a lot of that is simply if you get it to him in space, more times than not, he's going to get more yardage than you expect out of each play.
And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. One last shot now for Winston. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. One final shot. They'll look to throw. One last shot at the end zone. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game. And as this defense walks off the field, what a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for the Seahawks,
they're a win away now from running the table here in the regular season. They moved to 16-0 on the year.
I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and